At SunTrust Bank, we believe every person and every family deserves a safe place to call home.
And for 25 years, HAND has been making that dream a reality. With professional development opportunities, education, and professional networking, HAND is an innovator in the affordable housing industry.
So today, you and I have an opportunity to sit down with the 2016 HAND Housing Achievement Award winners.
Thank you for joining us for this very special conversation, and congratulations to all the award winners. Could you please both introduce yourself to the group?
My name is Linda Davenport. I'm the board chair of the Community Preservation and Development Corporation. And we have won the Developer of the Year award.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm Dave Castile. I'm the Housing Director for Arlington County Government, and we have won the Best Partner Award in 2016.
Thanks for being here.
Linda, what do you consider to be the most pressing concern of the affordable housing industry today?
I think that with the continuous return to the cities and to urban areas, one of the biggest pressures on affordable housing is maintaining the existing, preserving the existing affordable housing, and avoiding displacement.
David, what would you say?
And I think piggybacking on that one, from our perspective, it's really increasing the supply. In Arlington, we've lost over 13,500 units since 2000, and the average price of a single-family home is about $800,000. So from our perspective, it's both increasing the supply of rental housing, preserving what we have, but it's also figuring out what is that middle income, that mid-range moderate housing for folks that want to own their first place.
Okay, so David, I've got a tough question for you. Let's say Arlington County got $1 million grant tomorrow. How would the housing division use $1 million grant in Arlington County? $1 million.
I think we'd use it in two ways. I think the first way we'd use it is we'd probably use it for seed money to leverage other funds. We've talked a lot about a regional housing fund around here, and so I think the idea would be to take that money, most of that money, and use it to leverage other money, either as a loan fund or to leverage other funds that would come into it. The second part, we just adopted our Affordable Housing Master Plan, and there's several research topics that we could use to do some research with, use the money for some of that, those purposes.
Housing and community development issues don't typically make it to the presidential debates, don't typically make it to the presidential commercials, but if there was one housing initiative, Linda, that you would wish the presidential candidates would address, what would that be?
Well, besides generally putting housing on the list of important priorities for the country, I think the financing, if you're going to talk about the loss of the middle class and income inequality, then you've got to be talking about increasing the amount of affordable housing, not just for very low income, but all the way through middle income housing. So I think a concrete place for presidential candidates to start might be expanding the mixed income nature of the low-income housing tax credit so that we could produce more housing across an affordability spectrum with that tax credit.
You know, it's so interesting. There is so much talk about the middle class, but not a focus on how housing plays in that widening gap, income gap. David, what do you think?
Yeah, and I would agree with Linda. First of all, to have a president that would have housing or affordable housing on the agenda would be a great start. And then within that great start, I think it's also around what's the federal government's role in boosting supply? And I think, as Linda said, it really is expanding the low-income housing tax credit program, because that is the single largest means to increase the supply of rental housing in the country. Also, the Housing Choice Voucher Program, it really does, I think there is at least in our jurisdiction, and I think in jurisdictions across the country where there's a short supply of housing, that the voucher program plays an integral role in terms of helping folks access rental housing.
Both the county and CBDC are doing some great things to change lives and communities.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having this conversation with us, and congratulations again on your HAND Award.
And thank you for the award to Arlington County.
And thank you for the award to CBDC.
Can you please introduce yourself to the group?
My name is Patrice Shepard. I'm the Executive Director of the Far Southwest Southeast Community Development Corporation.
Welcome.
And my name is Christine Madigan. I'm Executive Vice President at Enterprise Homes, and I'm here representing our partners, the family of Abe Pollin and the DC Housing Authority, and together we won the Best Large Affordable Housing Project Award from HAND.
Welcome.
And what did the Far Southeast Southwest Collaborative win?
We won the Best Small Affordable Housing Project.
It wasn't that small though, right?
No.
All right. Lisa?
Christine, you mentioned partnerships. I wonder if you could tell us what makes a good partnership in your opinion.
Sure. Sure. Well, partnerships allow the members to do things they might not otherwise be able to do on their own. So the best partnerships work when the members bring different resources and skill sets to a common goal to achieve better housing, better communities.
And what's been your trick to bringing good partners together?
Sometimes our partners have chosen us. I would say the trick in either case is to communicate.
You know, Pastor Shepherd, it's interesting that Lisa asked the question about partnerships because faith-based development is about partnerships. It's about building communities. How do you see the role of faith-based development in affordable housing?
I see us emerging to the 21st century church and doing the things it is that we ought to do, as opposed to building bigger barns. We're building families and households one at a time.
Christine, what about you? What does this award mean for your organization?
A couple things. One, Housing Association of Nonprofit Developers is one of the most significant housing organizations in this region. Everyone in housing is a member. So it's a huge honor for us to be recognized for this development. The other thing is that this development was the brainchild of Abe Pollin, who, as you know, was a legendary civic leader in the community, and he was not able to see this development come to fruition, but his family continued to support it. And so to get this done for him, and with his staff has been a real honor.
You know, Christine, we're closing out the set, and you talked about just the importance of people and how Mr. Pollin looked at people. If you had a word from one of the residents, what would that word be?
Well, I happen to have a letter from a resident who lives at the community, and the thing about this letter is it tells us how important good housing is to how people, all of us, feel about ourselves. So let me quote from this resident. This is a thank you letter to the Pollin family. My history is that of many people coming from poverty. As a kid, I never thought I would even get a chance to visit this city, to live what people call the American dream by working hard and seeing the fruit of my labor through the vision of a person I never met, Abe Pollin, is incredible. I plan to keep this house for the rest of my life and make sure that stays with my family after I'm gone. This story is a source of pride for my family.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Lisa,
awesome.
Between repairing and restoring and hearing the impact that we have on people's lives, I think that's why HAND does what they do.
Absolutely.
And one of the reasons why we're honoring these two great organizations today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing your stories, and congratulations again on your HAND award.
Thank you, and thanks to HAND.
Hi, can you both introduce yourselves?
My name is Jocelyn Harris. I am a housing developer at Housing Initiative Partnership, and I'm receiving the Emerging Leader Award.
Hi, I'm Sheila Crowley, and I retired in May as the president and CEO of the National Low Income Housing Coalition, and I'm very honored to be receiving the President's Choice Award.
Welcome to you both. Jocelyn, I'll start with you. You're receiving the HAND's first Emerging Leaders Award. What kind of advice would you have for other young professionals? What are the key traits that would make an emerging leader in the affordable housing industry?
I would say learn your leadership style. It's so easy to act in a way that you think a leader should act or the way that a boss should act, but you have unique capabilities that are suited to you that make you able to do what you do best. So I would encourage future professionals to not change who you are, but be more of who you are.
What's your leadership style, would you say?
I would say my leadership style is to work well with the people around me, to really empower people to make their own decisions and to be responsible for the outcome.
I think that's interesting because Sheila, she said, don't change who you are. You've seen a lot in the industry for over, close to 40 years.
Yeah.
What would you say about changing who you are and not changing who you are in order to impact change on both the policy front and just in working with organizations and people?
Well, I think the answer to leadership is to know what skills and assets you need for any situation that you're in, and that when you are working with, in a community, developing housing, then there's a set of skills that are important. But when you're working on policy, there's another set of skills that are important. The thing that is critical is to maintain, to be deeply grounded in your values and to know what they are and to know how they are carried out and manifested in the work that you do, and not allow anybody to pull you away from what it is that you believe.
Jocelyn, here at hand, we have the opportunity to work with people like Sheila, like others who have been working in the industry. Did you have a mentor along the way who really helped you in getting to the position you are today?
I did. I would say that HIP's founding executive director, Mosey Harrington, was a great mentor for myself, as well as the other women that I work with currently.
Wow, an emerging leader in a President's Award, Achievement Award. A lot of wisdom at this table today.
Absolutely. Great advice for all of us, I think. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us, and congratulations again on your award.
Thank you.
Thank you.